This is Carl Runefeld, aka Moon Carl, a massive YouTube influencer in the crypto space with over 500,000 subscribers. His streams usually have some technical analysis known as TA about Bitcoin and Ethereum. I follow these coins too, and I do TA, so I thought I'd see if there's anything to learn. I learned a lot. I started from November the 15th, 2021, and he's bullish. And he showed us all his positions on 3 different platforms that he uses and promotes, actually, more on affiliate links later. Now, obviously, I've sped this up a bit, but you get the idea. He's bullish and he's looking at the breakout. And this is all, well, I personally don't like this style of TA, but it's absolutely impossible to argue with it. Now, if you look at these positions, some of them are quite big and they have big P&Ls. Now, don't worry, you don't have to worry about totaling everything up. Here's an example of the affiliate links that I was talking about, which we'll talk about a lot more later. Here's the second set of positions. You know, I've added all these up, and it's extraordinary. He's he's long 99 BTC, interestingly equally split across all 3 platforms, and 960 Ethereum, between 10x and 15x on margin, though one of the platforms doesn't show margin. That is absolutely huge. Are these real accounts for demos? I mean, if real, and there's no reason to believe they aren't real, then he is a big hitter. I'm impressed. Total worth of all positions is, I'm going to stop this video now because he starts banging on about Castor, which is his own thing, which we'll again talk about later. So, I'm impressed. Total worth of all positions is 6.5 million BTC and 4.5 million Ethereum. Now, that doesn't mean he has $11 million hanging around. It means he's got margin to support it. Then he starts talking about, you know, this potential breakout that he wants, and he's worried about, you know, this is good TA. He's seeing levels, and you know, he's saying if it doesn't break through there, then perhaps he's not quite so bullish. And then he even, you know, but he says if it does break through, he's going to increase even more his Bitcoin and Ethereum positions. Now, he points out another really obvious thing, which, you know, lots of people won't see, and so I'm glad he points it out. Price going up, RSI going down. It's called bearish divergence, and he has a warning for everybody. And if it breaks below 63.3, he said it, you know, he'd feel less of an interest in it. And I'm wondering if he means he's going to actually sell all that huge long if it breaks 63. So it's tough. And he talks about his donations and so forth. And at the moment, you know, all's good. And I'm thinking, what a, you know, this is a decent value. 2 days later, the price has dropped 12%, implying his losses on his longs top $1 million. That's okay for a big trader, I guess. You win some, you lose some. He likes zooming out.
Any chart will have corrections. So yeah, if you zoom out, it's not a big deal. But in the short term, of course, we did see a pretty quick fall of like almost 12% here. And we
Now he puts on another trade here. Now I remember from the previous time we looked at his positions that he would be liquidated at around 60,500, and yet he's getting in here again at 60,000. Now that's something I wouldn't do, because personally when I'm stopped out, I take a break as I clearly have the market wrong. So here's his position.
Essentially where we are right now getting supported potentially. So right now, I actually opened up a new long position over on Phoenix. Let me show you. Right now, 2 minutes before I started recording this video, I opened up this
Right, so let's take this. You know, here we are opening another long. It's not as big as the other one. But the important thing is, he's going in, he's buying, which encourages other people to buy.
$600,000 Bitcoin position. I'm already $600 or $1,000 in profits. But yeah, I'm playing a bounce here. And if you also want to long a potential bounce, make sure to take part.
And this is the plug for this affiliate link, and we'll talk about affiliate links later.
Well, the Bitcoin price is getting that correction that we were fearing, because we have this.
What? We were fearing? We were buying. We're buying at 60,000. Here he's clearly stopped out. Let's play it.
This bearish divergence that I've been showing you, just like we had a bearish divergence here, and we also had a bearish divergence all the way back there. And this is why I closed most of my long positions up here.
Wait a minute, you were closed out of them because you were liquidated in them. You didn't close them, and that's not why you closed them. I'm starting to detect a little bit of spin here. He sounds wise having closed on up there, but he got stopped out and then went long again up there. His real problem is that his bias is wrong. The video's title is actually, this is the last chance to buy Bitcoin and Ethereum for cheap. We at Mayfair were biased short in this period, so looking for short trades, not long trades. But here's a permabull, so he's always going to struggle in big down moves. I wonder again to myself why he won't recommend shorts.
And the reason why we are getting a correction now is, of course, the fact that we are seeing the divergence, but also essentially just seems like we might have been a little bit overextended in the short term, so we need a cool down before we continue to head higher. We saw
again, just bullish, 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 bullish.
Dollar range, which is huge support down here. That is a potential place for Bitcoin to come down and retest. And if we do come all the way down here, then this could be a fantastic place to put in a long position and play it.
Again, another long position. Okay, I'm listening. Let's listen a bit more.
The upside. Right now, we are definitely in a downtrend on the shorter time frame, as you can clearly see here. And personally, most of my long positions, I closed up here. Some of them got liquidated.
Now, we don't know. I mean, some of them did get liquidated. We know that he was long at 66,000. We know he said he would sell it as it went below 63. It did that in like one candle. So if he was awake, because I've actually heard him say he doesn't usually run stops unless he's worried about a position and has to go to sleep. And so as a result, we know that he either sold at 63 or got stopped out at 60 because that's what we saw.
And essentially, but yeah, when we broke this level, that was where I flipped bearish, remember? Right there.
No, I don't remember going bearish. I remember you saying something very slightly different. You certainly didn't encourage people to go bearish.
Said to all of you guys that if we break 63.7, that's when I'm going to close my longs, that's when I'm exiting, that's where I flip bearish.
Well, I really, really hope you did, because that means you only lost 300,000 in Bitcoin, goodness knows how much in Ethereum, rather than 650,000.
Ever since we broke this point here, Bitcoin has gone down 13%, and right now we're still down like 8%. So big shout outs to all of you guys who are subscribers, because if you are following my videos, if you actually watch my videos every single day, then you were able to see this coming, and at this stage here, you were able to take profits. Remember guys, we put in some long positions all the way down here, and we have been making absolute incredible gains, exited at close to the top, and...
Yeah, but your average was above 60,000. So whatever you bought down below and you were holding was, small, rather than the huge amount you had up at 66,000. Anyway, carry on.
Yeah, like I said, you need to subscribe to my channel, because you will literally make money by following...
Really? I don't think so. Everything I've watched recently is you taking longs and getting caught.
My free videos. That's a big point here. My videos are free. Most other YouTubers or most...
Yeah, your videos are free because you make money from affiliate links. You make money from shilling coins. You make money from YouTube impressions.
Other traders, they will sell you some kind of signals or sell you a course for tens of thousands of dollars. But on my channel, everything stays free, guys, for you. Just click the subscribe button down below right now, and we will trade these swings here. We will make money when Bitcoin goes up, when Bitcoin goes down, and all of that.
How you can make money when Bitcoin goes down, when in fact you only ever do bull calls?
Stuff. Many people have been asking me about these two positions that I put in on Bitcoin a long time ago, or one Bitcoin and one Ethereum.
I find this very interesting, because actually we saw his positions 5 days earlier on this platform. Let's take a look at them now. So it's the same platform, and if you check the Bitcoin position, it's isolated 10 times margin, 2 million, entry price 60,000, blah de blah de blah de blah. Now let's have a look at what we got now. Now we've got 20 times $400,000 worth at 44,758. So why wasn't that included? Let's just switch back. Isn't that in there? No, it can't be, because it's on a different margin rate. But if you had that position back on the 15th of November, wouldn't you be saying how brilliant it was? But no, all of a sudden your position is completely different. I haven't thought about this. Let's just check so the Ethereum one is $1.6 billion, $1.7 million, 12 times, and this one's 15 times, but it's far fewer. Where have these positions suddenly come from? That's interesting, isn't it?
And I still have them open, so I'll still have this Bitcoin position.
I want everyone to watch how many times he moves his hair around.
On Bybit right now, almost 500% in profits, and also this Ethereum position 160% in profits. These are both over on Bybit. And if it's
interesting, isn't it? I mean, anyone know anything about body language? So the next day he's on an executive jet somewhere. Dubai, they're not that expensive to rent. And but the thing, he then starts leaving TA and just literally going on about Bitcoin like it's the greatest thing. Just have a listen. Some of the things he says are just straight against any decent TA.
People always get panic and feel fearful. But guys, if you zoom out on Bitcoin, you will always see a bull trend. If you zoom out long enough, if you zoom out to the monthly, to the yearly, on the weekly time frame, you will see that Bitcoin is very, very bullish. We're seeing corrections sometimes. Just zoom out. I think Da Vinci is the one who usually says it. When in doubt, zoom out. And I think it's a great.
Now I agree with when in doubt, zoom out. However, the way he's putting it just is bull, 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 and I don't like it. I've suddenly decided I don't like the TA, because it's not TA anymore. It's just shilling Bitcoin. Let's move on to the 22nd of November, where we hear this.
Price is falling down in this bear flag, exactly as we talked about. Look at this, we have a huge...
You may have talked about it, but you talked about it as a less likely alternative to break it out to the upside. 2 days earlier. It's as simple as that. Okay, so now I'm a tiny bit cynical, and here's some guy, he's got up there Bitcoin Census. I don't know anything about them, but I do know, I had a little bet with myself, this guy would be bullish on everything, and sure enough, he is. And the only other interesting part of this, because he runs across a whole load of altcoins with roughly the same TA as everything, all just bull, 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 is if you go towards the end, he starts talking for the, and I haven't seen this, perhaps Carl did talk about Crypto.com coin, the CRO coin, before, I don't know, but it comes in here quite interestingly. And it's linked because the thing Castor that he spends his whole time talking about, which is shareholder of, which of course is entitled to be, and more about Castor later, is a bit like this. You know, it's a kind of the same thing. And so obviously this is very exciting news for anyone in Castor. So he wants to pull that up. And why blame him? I don't. Here we are the next day.
Opportunity that we can do for Ethereum. I also want to take a look at Crypto.com. Everyone is talking about Crypto.com right now. And I am specifically interested in Crypto.com because I am the co-founder of Casta, which is basically a very, very clear competitor to Crypto.com. So the fact that we're seeing Crypto.com and these other these competitors doing well right now gives so much more validation and credibility to what I believe in, which is the fact that people are looking for these products to.
Okay, so that's fair enough. That's absolutely perfect. The only thing I slightly object to is the fact that we never hear about Crypto.com coin ever again, and I'm wondering why that might be. That's the date on which he spoke. Since then, it's down. %57%. It has been down as low as 67%. Okay, but it never comes up again. It just never comes up again. And obviously, this is somebody who's obviously trying to market something, and I understand that. And perhaps you wouldn't mention it afterwards. Perhaps you wouldn't. But if you were honestly giving people trading advice, perhaps you would.
Let's say 6K just to be sure, just to be like.
And you get blah, 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 bullish TA, bullish TA, bullish TA, bullish TA. Then what do we get after that? We get, oh yeah, here's your affiliate links, blah, 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 blah. And then interestingly, this is, you know, all about the various exchanges. You know, it's all good information, but he's basically plugging something. And then we get something interesting here, which is, to be honest, the thing that really worries me the most, and that is this. So let's pause it there. So this is Femex, and this is his position on Femex. And let's contrast it. So here he's talking about the fact that he is up 900% on a Femex position. And let's contrast it with his Femex position from before. Here it is here. So exactly the same thing. He's got 2 million, entry price 64. Now he's got 186,000 with an entry price of 44,700, where it hasn't traded, you know, since the 15th of November. So I'm concerned. And then I'm drawn to this thing at the top here, and I'm saying to myself, what's this? Is this a demo account? I don't know. I don't know how Femex works. But anyhow, it just makes me feel a bit, you know, I'm not sure if this is right. That's all. Right, as promised, let's talk about affiliate links. Here they are, Bybit, Femex and Prime XBT. They offer you a bonus, which is basically giving you a tiny bit more leverage when you join in. But say you pay 25 grand into Bybit, then Mooncar will be paid a proportion of that. And it's a surprisingly large proportion. I don't know what his deal is with them, if it were 20% or more, or 30 even, or 40 even. It wouldn't surprise me, because the deal is that simple. You're probably going to lose money, and they know it. And so they're very, very happy to give him a large chunk of it. So does he even need to be trading? You know, you've got to ask yourself, where does this guy make all his money? Well, judging from what we've seen over the last 10 minutes of this video, it isn't from trading. So is it from this? Is it from YouTube impressions? Is it from going on and on about Castor, which I'll save for another video, because that's an interesting one in itself. Anyway, I'll leave you with that thought as we move into the last section. The 4th of December dawns, and it's a bad day for Bitcoin. So let's actually just play through some of the stuff he says on that day.
And later today, I hopefully will be able to make a longer video. But what you can see here, guys, is that actually Bitcoin is doing something right now that not many people have expected. Look at this. We have this upwards trending support, right? As you can see, this red line, and we just broke this red line, and we also broke the 52 or 53K level. And I've been telling you guys now for a few weeks here that as long as we are above 53K, I remain bullish on Bitcoin, because we're still above critical support, and also as long as we're above this upward trending support, I will also remain bullish on Bitcoin. However, if we break 53K at that stage,
now he's a genius who told you all along that, you know, this was a danger. Well, he did tell you it was a danger. We never thought it was going to happen.
Bearish into next year. But yeah, so right now, let me just zoom out here. Sorry for the mess. Let's see here. So guys, I'm gonna have to be honest with you guys. I was not expecting Bitcoin to break down like this right now, and I did have a couple of positions that got completely wiped out. So to be completely transparent there, And the question is, are we supposed to go lower here? And I think that right now I am not going to play any Bitcoin bounce, because I think that breaking key support like this means that we're likely to head lower or consolidate for a long time. I'm not expecting a V-shaped recovery out of something like this. That's just my own opinion. Yeah, so you know what? I am gonna have to go for an appointment right now, but later today I am gonna make a full long video with all the charts that we could possibly need, and I'm gonna go through everything with you guys. But one thing's for sure, don't you worry out there. Bitcoin is going to be back, and one thing is very important. I still think we are in the bull cycle. Obviously, we could see a small mini bear market before we see the next big run up, but in my opinion, Bitcoin is still in a bull market. Not bull market necessarily on the daily time frame, but I'm saying on the weekly, monthly, and we're still in the bull cycle. I still think next year will be bullish, even if we go to 30K next month. I still think that next year will be ultimately very bullish, and we will go to 300K next year.
Oh dear. So this is based on nothing. Let's just play around a bit.
Business on Fox News, live, me, the first crypto YouTuber in the history of crypto YouTube, and I was shilling Bitcoin, and I was shilling Casa in front of millions of people.
Look at that. He's shilling Bitcoin and shilling Casta in front of millions of people. He's very proud of the fact that he's been bullish the entire way down from 66,000 to 42,000. A load of people lost a load of money, including himself. So he says, well, I mean, you can tell he's lost money, though how much, who knows? You know, and he's proud that the only thing he can talk about is if it was on Fox News. This person, what's he doing in your life?